These springs are from under the end of the tumbling strip, and these plastic caps have broken. Those attach to the bottom of the plywood, and then the springs insert. I've ordered 12 more of these caps from Spieth Anderson because they are breaking, but they'll need to be installed under this end of the tumbling strip right here. And what happened is 50% of this tumbling strip is wooden, and it's the same as the actual floor area, and it's been sliding. With use, it sort of creeps its way into the pit here, and then we wind up with a crevice between the two surfaces that are underneath the actual bonded carpet covered foam. So what I've done is I bought a strap at Princess Auto that's 40 feet long or something. It's a Tapcon to the floor underneath the tumbling strip onto the concrete. It stretches all the way down to this end, and it's got a flange on it that hooks over the edge of the plywood to hold everything in place. But once those caps come, we'll have to lift the carpet, we'll have to flip that last panel over, and we'll have to affix the new springs onto the bottom of that at the maintenance stay. The vacuums have come back from Al's. They're here. In that box there's a new hose. Those are the old hoses. Everything's been reconditioned, so they're just waiting to be reinstalled. Pretty straightforward. That attaches to run the power through the hose system, and up behind the camera there is where it plugs in. It just hangs on that hanger. You plug it in up behind the camera and attach those two wires and the hose to the side of the canister. So that can be quickly done. I think all of these units, the LCDs can be cleaned. All the cameras and the DVR systems should be, with those cans of compressed air you can buy at Staples or Walmart or whatever. I think what we should be doing is almost part of the routine cleanings is making sure that we keep those as free of dust and so on, and keep them clean. I'd like to get some big bins that are on wheels. Keep the extension cords, all the vacuum hoses and everything in those bins, and then from week to week, when the parents are finished with their cleanings at the cleaning days, we just load everything back in those bins, like the big huge ones from Home Depot, and then we'll roll those out under the stairs, because all this clutter in the gym makes it kind of messy and unorganized. This is the fixed point of the bungee system to the steel frame. This needs to be inspected, and what I want to do is, rather than have one piece of webbing to that eye bolt, is I want to have 3 to the carabiner, and then I want to have an aircraft cable from the carabiner to this steel cross brace or whatever, just that if the eye bolt would ever snap, there's a backup, and if that webbing ever snapped, there's 2 backups. And you can see over here on this side of the building, the bungee's actually worn through. I intend to put the new piece through a piece of hose that will protect it from rubbing on that the edge of that steel frame. Unfortunately, that probably should have been mounted a little bit higher so it wouldn't touch. But we're left with this right now, and that was we're fortunate that no one was actually in the bungee belt. I'm sure it wouldn't have been a catastrophe, but certainly enough of a scare. But that did let go from rubbing. So the bungee's out of commission right now. It's a very important tool. I've ordered a Genie 35 from United Rentals, and hopefully it'll be here when you guys do your maintenance day, and these little things can be sort of addressed when during that time. So at that point and that point, as well as where the bungee attaches in this corner, all 4 corners, then the actual fixed spotting belt, which attaches up there to the steel, and same with the where the rope attaches, all these things should be inspected, and I think they should be backed up for safety. This is one of the projects from the last thing there. This is the battery backup for the pump in the pit, but I think this should all be painted now. I've put a hasp and hinges and a lid on this so it's easier to access when it is under alarm. We don't have to unscrew the whole thing from the floor. So it's actually, the battery's inside a box now. If there is a leakage, it's not going to get all over the carpet, but this should be painted in some way that it matches the kind of the red and blue scheme of the gym. Yeah, once we have the bins for the storage of the hoses and whatnot, I want to get all this stuff off the wall and clear this corner. It's just a bunch of clutter and mess, and if we have some place where we can organize all the kinder gym toys and the weights, etc., etc., then the coaches will know, you know, that everything does have a place, and it'll be a little easier to organize. This here, the mirror really hasn't been addressed. I know I've checked at the Restore, and they've got a lot of mirror material there. I'm sure Sarnia Glass or somebody could cut that piece out and we could put a sliver in there, or just make sure we cut it and then measure it for what we need. Wouldn't take, if we release the frame and insert the new mirror, I don't think it would take long. One of the bar cables, I know I mentioned it at the board meeting. This connection here, you can see it was doubled, but it actually snapped and the bars fell down. But this here, I've put in one that I found in the rail car. But this thing that adjusts the tension needs to be reinstalled on this in a similar fashion to this one over here. It just helps us to adjust the tension. Kurt's ordered the foam or the carpeting to go ahead and pad these up, so that'll be all ready for the next maintenance day if it's not done before that. I know he's making arrangements with Bill to come in and get these sort of padded up and a little more sliverless and comfortable. These straps have been on the maintenance or on the work log of the minutes. I know I wasn't sure if somebody actually took on that task, but we need to get some new Taekwondo belts and replace some of these that are worn. This mat's a bit of a problem. I've moved it out of the main area of the gym, and sometimes it's covered over here. But probably one of those things that we address with the equipment maintenance budget, the capital money we're setting aside from the building levy.